Durk and his brother, D-Thang. Lil Durk and D-Thang were more than just brothers. They were blood, but also street connected. D-Thang, whose real name was Dante Banks Jr., was the older sibling of Durk and one of his earliest supporters before fame. While Durk was pushing the OTF brand through music, D-Thang was moving behind the scenes, backing him with money and holding down the street side of things. Early on, D-Thang was known around Englewood and the Harvey area, respected for his connections and his willingness to stand on business. When Durk started catching buzz in 2011 to 2012, D-Thang was one of the main people financing him. He kept Durk out of
That's what's
unnecessary
up.
situations and advised him to
That's a
stay
real
focused
brother
on
right here.
rap. Even when Durk started blowing money on designer and cars, it was D-Thang who told him to invest in a trucking business to build longevity. OTF
Real
started
brother.
out as a crew, but eventually became a full brand with major influence, and D-Thang had a hand in helping build that up alongside his brother. But while Durk was slowly rising in the music industry, D-Thang never fully left the streets. He was associated with 72 Dog Pound and heavily tied into Lamron Durk's set, which was locked in a long-standing war with sets like Goody Gang and CMB. The politics were heavy, and D-Thang didn't play neutral. He went on social media dissing his ops directly, even saying he didn't know who his enemies were anymore because they were all dead. That level of disrespect made him a major target, especially to younger GDs who wanted to make a name for themselves. In one of the most dangerous moves possible, D-Thang started partying in GD territory, especially at a club on the 17,000 block of South Halsted in Harvey, known as Club O. Despite knowing the tension, he went out there multiple times. On June 5th, 2021, D-Thang was at Club O once again, this time without the type of security that would have kept things in check. Reports say he
Sure.
was in the hookah lounge, vibing with his
You
people,
famous, if
but
you
things went
know,
left
have
after an argument
security.
broke out in the parking lot as he
So
was leaving.
non-negotiable.
Around the same time, a Harvey City police officer was also shot in the thigh after confronting another armed patron inside the club, showing how chaotic the night had become.
It's a
D-Thang
police
reportedly got
officer.
into a verbal altercation outside before shots rang out, and he was fatally hit in the head. The scene turned into
Damn.
panic, with first responders arriving
RP
quickly,
bro.
but it was too late. He was pronounced dead on the spot. The news shook the city. Durk's real-life big bro, one of the main pillars behind OTF, was gone just like that. Social media exploded with tributes. Durk, still reeling from the loss of King Von months earlier, posted D-Thang's image with the caption, "Do it for D-Thang," fueling speculation that retaliation would be
Yeah,
swift.
King Von did get
Less than a
killed
month
like
later, two men believed to be connected to the hit, Jalen Anderson and
like
Jeremy Hawkins,
10 months
were both
before that.
shot and killed at
Like
a
nine
gas station
months.
on the south side. The timing wasn't lost on anyone. People close to D-Thang, including Durk himself, began posting cryptic images and tributes on the same day those two men were murdered. The message was clear to anyone watching. OTF wasn't letting this slide. Street rumors had already started identifying Anderson and Hawkins as the shooters. Both were affiliated with rival gangs, Anderson tied to Gutta Gang and Hawkins reportedly connected to No Love City. Those are both active GD sets with long-standing tension against OTF and Lamron. What made it worse was that D-Thang had been online, openly mocking them, calling out Gutta Gang directly and dissing their fallen members.
Then you went to
For
a
younger
club with no
GDs looking to earn
security.
stripes, D-Thang
Bugging.
became the ultimate target. They saw taking him out as not only a personal hit, but a statement to the whole BDK movement. But this wasn't D-Thang's first close call. Back in 2014, he got into it with Mubu Crump's crew at a TI-hosted event in Harvey. That situation turned into a full-on brawl, and D-Thang later went on video taunting Crump, daring him to come back for a rematch. Then in 2018, D-Thang was shot in a McDonald's parking lot, but survived. His cousin Baby D, who was with him, didn't make it. Even after all that, D-Thang kept stepping into enemy territory, making disses and posts that would have gotten most people killed long ago. That lifestyle finally caught up to him outside Club O in June 2021. Durk didn't say much after D-Thang's death. Instead, he let his music talk. Songs like Pissed Me Off and Ah-Ha carried subliminal shots at the ops while also paying tribute to his brother. In one bar, he said, "My brother D-Thang just got killed and I've been slow since, but we got back on their ass, I bet they know this," showing he was hurting but also standing firm. The pain clearly ran deep. D-Thang had been there from the start, long before the
AI
industry
voice that
cosigns
said
and
D
Billboard
Thong.
charts. He helped shape OTF into more than just a rap crew. He helped make it a movement. Losing him wasn't just a
Bro, what
personal
type
blow.
of
It was
shirt
a
is that, Durk? Like, bro, what type of shirt is this?
Losing him wasn't just a personal
Yo.
blow. It was a crack in the OTF foundation. But the story goes deeper than just street politics. After D-Thang's death, Durk's life became a series of tragedies. He had just lost King Von in late 2020. Von wasn't just an artist signed to OTF. He was Durk's right hand, his most aggressive
I thought that
soldier
was
in music and in the
I really
streets.
thought King Von was
Then to
Durk's
lose his
cousin.
brother less than a year later, it changed everything. Even Durk's music began to shift. The energy was darker, more direct, and there was less flexing and more pain. The losses were piling up, and Durk was either going to fall apart or turn up. That same year, Durk and his girlfriend were involved in a shootout inside their Georgia mansion after intruders broke in. Somehow, both of them made it out alive. But that moment proved how far the war had stretched. Even in a different state, with security, Durk was still a target. The OTF name carried weight across state lines, and Durk's enemies weren't just confined to Chicago anymore. The death of D-Thang triggered something permanent. It wasn't just a street loss. It turned into a federal-level issue as shootings and murders tied to the Chicago War kept happening in different cities. In 2023, D-Thang's name was brought up again in rumors surrounding behind-the-scenes politics in Chicago. Old footage and interviews resurfaced, showing just how respected and active he was before getting killed. His girlfriend at the time still rocks a chain with his name. His name gets shouted out in OTF
That's real.
songs, interviews, even fan tributes. In Durk's inner circle, D-Thang is a legend. Somebody who gave his life to the streets and paid the ultimate price, but never switched up. He backed his brother, dissed the ops, and stayed involved all the way until the end.